welcome back to Edge of the Empire Strangers in Arms campaign. And I believe we left off with Jasper and Daymont returning back to the ship on the old speeder and a newly acquired super speeder. Carden was left back taking inventory on the ship. What are you doing right now, Carden?
If I finish up taking the inventory on what all needs to be repaired, then just starting on the pressurization seals and everything of the ship, and then working towards the engines to at least get us moving, so we can at least maybe hide the ship better or something.
Okay. So Jasper and Daymont, you return back to the ship.
I'm gonna
Peel up outside. It's early morning. The sun is back up.
I look towards. I get off my speeder bike. I'm gonna hit my comm link. Carden, you awake?
Yeah, I'm here.
We're outside. We're outside the doors.
All right.
I don't think that was the secret code.
The Minox are sleeping.
I don't think that was it
Sorry. Hello, Minox.
Don't let him in, Carden. You don't know who these people are.
It's a simple code.
What to do with Minox? How about you just let us in?
By this time, Damon, I can't even think of the code. He's got such a headache now. He's been with Jasper for the last how many hours? Carden, I've been with your brother for many hours. I don't remember your stupid password.
I'll let him in. I hear Jasper in the background. Well, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
Something to do with Minox. That's all I do.
Bring your speeder bike in, Jasper, please.
Okay. I'll go in nice and gentle, just slow enough for you. You can see how it's done, just nice and slow and gentle. So I don't want to lose you behind this time.
Give me a piloting planetary.
I'll push it.
And we absolutely are going to upgrade that.
Great. There goes our new speeder bike.
So, average?
Yep, one purple, one red.
Okay.
So as we were discussing, the subtitle of this session, or these sessions, is called "Damn It, Jasper."
All right. 3 successes and 2 disadvantages.
So he does bring it in nice and gently. He walks it in. And he looks as he's bringing it through, and he starts to round the corner into the cargo bay. He kind of looks back at Daymont like. And when he does that, the whole back end of the speeder bike just puts a nice big scratch gash on the back fender of this thing. He just kind of looks sheepishly and keeps pushing it on, goes around the corner and disappears.
I'm pushing mine up and closing the doors, and once the doors are closed, damn it, Jasper.
What? It's a little sensitive.
We have to fill your brother in on this whole thing. All right.
So as you guys come in here, what does the galley look like at this point? Now we know Carden's been running around making lists, prioritizing mechanical fixes and stuff like that.
It's less disheveled, less stuff sitting around. There's more paths now leading through the cargo area, and I can see like a table has been righted, a couple chairs are still over, but most of the noodles are at least in an area of in one area being organized as opposed to the entire galley.
Sure. The noodle area.
Looks like as we come inside the thing, it looks like the weapons are out of the crates now. They're hidden somewhere, which is everything seems to be looking a little better. Like maybe we didn't crash land as badly as we did.
At least on the inside.
Yeah.
Organized chaos is what it looks like inside. Organized chaos. So
just to fill you in, Carden, here's where we're at. We still have 75 heavy blaster rifles, 50 blaster pistols, all blaster cells, and 45 thermal detonators.
Untested.
Untested.
What? So what happened? What? I mean, I thought Jasper.
Well, okay, this stuff is a little hot. And Gav is really not comfortable being the direct seller of these goods, or buyer of these goods. There is some concern maybe that there is somebody making a move, or the Empire is helping somebody out, or there's somebody else making a move in the city. So we're not sure who the person's supposed to be getting the cargo for, but this stuff is... What?
But I can
What?
I can make you feel a little better, Cardin. Now it's not just us and the ship that know our entire inventory, but now Gab does also.
Well, I trust Gav. He's a good guy. We're on the level. We see eye to eye.
Do I know? I mean, have I met Gav, or do I know that? I mean, despite his, at least in my opinion, disreputable opinion.
Yeah, what you know of Gab is you know that your brother has spent a lot of time with him in the past. You know that he owns the theater. You've spent plenty of time at the theater, going there on occasion with people from work and just going to take in a show. You do know of his underworld side, though. He has the reputation of being very flashy. It's one of those, you know he's got a lot of money and you know where he got it, but for some reason the authorities never pick him up. The authorities never are able to pin anything on him. But you also know that your brother's very close to him, and that sort of bothers you a little bit. You know, not because he's close to him, but because of who he is and your brother being close to him. You know, it's another peg in the board of Jasper doing criminal activity.
Do I trust him in, at least as far as Jasper's, do I think he'll leave Jasper to hang out and dry at, a moment's notice, or?
I would think you're not really knowing him. You would not trust him. You would assume that of all Jasper's friends.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll even go. Tell you what. Give me a streetwise roll. Average. Actually, no. Don't put any difficulty. Just give me a regular straight streetwise roll. Let's see what your successes and stuff are. Okay, success is your advantage. You're roughly the same age as Gav, and you've known him from like childhood. Now you knew him back then, and he was always kind of a troublemaker back then. And at a certain point, he just kind of disappeared, and you never really heard much more about him until much later when your brother started hanging out with him. Kind of recognized the name and stuff, and that's when you realized who it was. So yeah, you kind of have a bit of a mistrust of him. But like I said, that goes without saying with all of Jasper's friends.
Yeah, is he just going to be like one of those guys that, it's like, I didn't do it, he did it, one of those people that just will, pin it on Jasper like every single time? Or do I know that he at least has some sort of caring for Jasper in some sort of way? Maybe it might be not familial, but...
You don't necessarily feel like there's any caring for Jasper. You do know that Gav is known as somebody who is a man of his word, for what it's worth. And he's not somebody that feels compelled to push off on other people, get other people in trouble to protect himself, because he's untouchable. And then nothing ever comes back to him. So there's no reason for him to feel like, oh, well, I need to pin the blame on somebody else because nothing ever comes at him directly anyhow. But he's an underworld figure in Dasama, and
Yeah.
that's enough mistrust, on your part alone.
Yeah, no. I mean, at least I've got somebody looking out for Jasper, even if he's not being good, so to speak.
Right.
You know.
Well, we'll have that conversation with Jasper then regarding Gav.
So, look, Jasper. Look, I know that you and Gav have known each other for a long time, but I mean, do you trust him? I mean, is he somebody that is a friend for the moment? That when things go down, things go hairy. That I mean, that you're gonna be left to hang out to dry, left beholding the good, so to speak.
No. Gav's a good guy. He's on the level with me. He's never gonna betray me. He's always there for me. And I never betray his trust either, because I don't ask too much of him. If he says he can't do it, he doesn't do it. I don't push him. And he doesn't tell me to do stuff that I don't want to do. He doesn't push me either. So we go back and forth. We work out together. He scratches my back. I scratch his back. We work together. Hey, I need to know something, somebody to fence against soft to. Who do I go to? He shows me where to go to. If he doesn't want to deal with it, he doesn't deal with it. But no. He's not one to betray me. Hey, he gives me free Jolly Juice. Some of the best Jolly Juice in the town. Hey, you got your nebulas.
Look at the speeder.
He likes the nebulas.
He just gave you a
He's a good
speeder.
guy. He didn't poison us.
Look, Jasper, I mean, you're old enough to be able to make decisions on your own.
Guys, not one of these bigger brother, little brother. I'm growing up. Look at all that.
Yes, it is bigger brother, younger brother type stuff, but remember, I mean, you've met people that you couldn't trust as far as you could throw them. I mean, do you remember that time that what was his name? What was it? It was that one kid that had stole some stuff from the teacher and just you didn't even really know him and he blamed it on you.
You mean Gavin?
No, I don't know. Whatever his name was when you were like what was it, 9, 10 years old?
Oh, Alphonse?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying don't trust him, but just be cautious. Just be cautious in trust.
Okay. The whole reason why I told them the details of the shipment is because instead of just looking for, hey, let's look for mint condition Imperial weapons, no, he needed to know, hey, somebody's missing 6 crates, looking for them, and maybe some of the crates have this and some of the crates will be easier to find. It's about narrowing down the search patterns.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. But I just want to make sure that, I mean, if worst comes to worst, and that Gav doesn't just, call up security and just say, hey, while we're sitting here discussing this, that we're gonna have like the whole entire freaking security team out here.
No, the perps don't know anything about this.
Well,
No,
let's say it this way, okay? I'm glad he trusts somebody he can go through here. My whole thing is I barely trust any of us here with what we have on this ship. Now we have let somebody else know from this gosh forsaken planet, which does not seem to be working out any way that I was hoping it would. But now somebody else knows what we're holding on this ship, and I was kind of hoping to keep a couple of secrets. Thank the stars he did not tell them our exact location, because
Well, I wouldn't go to that.
He did everything but say, well, this is on the map right here where we are and where you could find the 75 frickin' heavy blaster rifles and 50 blaster pistols. Oh, by the way, and the 45 thermal detonators.
At this point, Jasper, you get a text message.
Okay.
So whatever your alert notification is, goes off, and you see it's a text from Gav, and it's in all caps, and it says, "I meant what I said about the thermal blasters. Just leave them alone." ...
You know, I mean, Jasper, I mean, I just don't want you to be rotting in prison for, having nothing to do with something. That's, I'm just trying to look out for you. I mean, I've done this time and time and time and time and time again.
Okay.
And I just want you to I want you to be able to enjoy life like I do.
But this is enjoying life. Look, we got a ship now. We got some cargo, and it's all about turning that cargo into credits. And once you have credits, we can do a lot more with it. No, we don't have to go with weapons and hot stuff. We could go with open up, get off this planet. Maybe do some freighter capping, doing some small-time cargo stuff. No, this is an opportunity to get off that freaking dirt bucket. I don't want to live here anymore.
No, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you for wanting to get out of here.
But this is an exciting life. I don't want to be doing what you have been doing with this 9-to-5 job. You punch in the clock, you go work, you come home, you eat some freaking noodles, and you go to sleep and start all over again. There's more to life than just punching the clock.
And you are absolutely right. But how would you rather have that or staring down the barrel of a blaster?
We're not there. Nobody's pointing blasters at us right now. Heck, we got those scrap heads. We left them in the dust. This is my natural ability with the speeder bike. Hey, you know what? I might actually start doing speed races. Nope, that might be a good thing. No?
Damon, give me a perception check. Average difficulty.
Free success.
As he's saying this, you hear a loud clank from outside.
Did you hear that?
Hear what? Didn't you hear what I said? I could be a swoop racer.
You cannot be any of that. You're horrible. But listen, I heard something outside.
And this time you all hear it. It's like you hear a clank. You hear like almost like metal bending. Clank.
Oh, no,
Damn it, Jasper. What is that?
I didn't do anything! No. It's probably somebody outside who's trying to scrap the ship. This is our ship. I'm trying to lift off something.
I'm going to walk over to the speeder bike with our cargo hold attached to it. I'm going to grab one of these heavy blaster rifles. Cardin, what did you do with the cells?
I go over to walk
so
over
glad
to.
You thought about the energy cells.
The what?
I'm so glad you thought about the energy cells, because if you tried to fire it without an energy cell, that'd have been just hilarious. But go ahead.
I walk over to one of the wall plates, and while the clanking is going on and stuff, and while we hear the stress of metal and whatnot, open up one of these compartments, grab one, actually grab like 3 of them, toss
don't forget, you still have you have a rifle and two pistols?
2 rifles.
Well, we
one
had
rifle,
2
2 pistols.
and pistol.
Okay, yeah, so you got those that haven't been put back yet, that they're still bundled up with the speeder bikes.
Grab one cell and toss it to Jasper and then toss one to Damon.
I look over at Jasper. Where does this go?
Here, let me show you.
Jesus.
It goes right here in this little empty hole. That's where you put it. And turn the arrow the other way. There.
It powers
Yeah,
up.
Okay, before I do anything, I'm going to go where I hear the metal and banging. Can I get an idea, like, how many people are out there? Just like I said, like, going, okay, I'm pretty good about hearing through doors, like, going, how many people I get, like, can I get an idea?
I guess maybe before that, besides the noodles that I've cleaned up, have I?
Which you've done a very good job of.
Thank you. Have I actually like fixed anything on the ship at this point? Maybe like
nothing system wise, because
Okay.
you do lack the parts for it at this point.
Okay.
Still.
Okay.
So you've done some like minor physical, structural type stuff. You've repaired a few things, put back some stuff that had come off the walls, and went up to the cockpit, resecured like some of the panels that had popped out, stuff like that.
Okay.
And so Jasper, what did you want to do? Listen at the door?
Well, I'm trying to get an idea of, can I guess, like, how many people are out there?
Like, how many different spots the creaking's coming from?
Yeah, how many, do I hear footsteps or anything, or do I get a sense of what's up there?
Let's see here. Do you want to use your sense power?
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'll take the strain.
Okay. So, you're gonna tap to the dark side. How is what are you feeling right now as you're tapping?
I'm a little
this dark
anxious
side?
right now. I'm more anxious. A little like, okay, this is something where this is our temporary home, and I'm a little anxious, like somebody's going to be stealing from it, or it's a threat.
Okay.
Maybe even a little defensive, since I just kind of gotten finished.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily blaming him, but just calling out his poor choice in lifestyle.
The big brother, little brother talk. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you reach out, and it's like you're listening, and you're not really like reaching out per se, but listening. You're hearing, while the others can't necessarily hear it. It's like a feeling more than hearing. Even though in your mind you feel like you're hearing it, but you can hear like 4 or 5 different people out there. You know that there's like one who's kind of up near the wing, and like a couple by the access door in the back, and maybe another 1 or 2 that are kind of not right at the ship, but out there in that general area.
Hey, brother, big brother, I think we're in deep trouble, and I'm serious about this. I don't know what to do here.
What?
Well, if this is going to be
Alright,
our
Jasper,
home,
talk
somebody's
to
trying
me.
to break into our home or take it away. So, where's that blaster pistol?
I'm gonna hit my comm link, GM, and see if I can get a hold of Gav.
Okay. Go ahead and call Gav. You hear a lot of noise in the background. It's obviously like a public area. A lot of people around. And go.
Gav, Daymont, you met me with Jasper the other day. Actually,
This morning? Yeah, I remember, yeah.
We have a bit of a problem.
You've been gone like an hour. You already got a problem.
We're
I
back.
told you guys to lay low.
What problem? We're going to fix this problem.
Did Jasper touch the thermal detonators? I specifically texted him and told him, don't touch the thermal detonators.
No, what's the problem?
Damn it, Jasper.
I didn't touch them.
I don't want to mention those to him because he may be tempted to. We are right now somebody's outside banging and sounds like tearing shit apart of where we're at right now. I was wondering if you may have anybody you might be able to send out if I give you.
And I didn't want to know where any of the stuff was.
Well, maybe that's not here, but maybe we are, and maybe in a little bit of trouble.
Okay, so what's the trouble? I mean, Jasper can handle himself. He's a good guy. He knows how to throw down a little bit.
Well, he may be the only one that knows how to throw down a little bit. We may be facing a little bit more than a little bit, according to Jasper.
But put Jasper on the phone.
Yeah. What?
What's going on, Jasper? What, you got some toughs out there?
I think there's some scrappers outside. He's a little skittish. I think we can take care of it. Don't worry about it. I got control. My brother's going to help me out. We got control.
Scrappers?
I'll let you know what happens.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, you know what? Don't worry about them scrappers. I know you can handle them.
See?
Yeah, call me when you got a real problem. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, don't really call me because I'm busy right now. But you know,
I grab my comic like Jasper. I hope your brother and you know how to fire these because I don't even know what I'm doing here.
It's all you do is point the nasty end to whatever you want to shoot. That's really easy.
And Jesus.
Carton, give me a perception check. Average with a boost die.
All right, 2 successes, 2 advantage.
While these two were doing their
was there a difficulty?
Yes, it was average.
Average difficulty? Okay. Here, we'll do this. Okay, so 2 success.
Yeah, 2 success. Okay. So as these two here are arguing back and forth, bickering, you can hear at the rear access door, you can hear from the outside up. And you can see part of the access panel or access door or whatever starts to glow red around the top of it.
Guys, they are working on getting in.
Gentlemen, grab your weapons. We need to open that door then because they cannot ruin it. That is her only hidden access to this place. I walk over the door panel and I just hit the...
Wait. What? Oh, shoot. Nope, that won't work.
Let's see.
My mind is working to figure out a mechanical way to stop them, but nothing's coming to mind.
He's already popped the door open, so...
As I did, I'm at the side too, so I'm kind of hidden by the side.
The only mechanical option is a liberal amounts of blaster fire.
No, I was thinking if maybe he's the bad guy, quote unquote, is touching the door. You know, maybe like, I don't know, electrocute him or something like that. But he's not touching the door because the door is going to be hot from trying to break his way in. So.
Okay, vigilance is what?
Willpower.
Willpower. And Daemont, go ahead and roll your cool.
Alright. What's the difficulty?
No difficulty. We're in initiative. So you pop the door open, and Carden, you can even roll too if you like.
All right.
Because all you guys are aware of somebody that's obviously at the door there.
Now, can I make a suggestion with my advantage?
What's his initiative?
Yeah. It's not a normal skill
Because we
check.
kind of surprised him while we hit that while he was going through the door. That was the whole point, is getting the drop of surprise real quick.
Well, you're the only one that's let's see. So it's going to be them, and then you three. As you pop the door open, he's like this. He's got this cutting torch up high, and you pop the door open, and he drops back and drops the cutting torch, and basically takes a step back and goes into a defensive stance. You kind of surprised him, so he's like, oh, he drops back and goes into a guarded stance. Who wants to go first among you three?
Well, I think Damon already went first.
I guess I've got my thing, my whatever you call this thing in my hand, because I'm not real good at weapons. But I'm kind of holding it here. I'm saying, listen, this ship right here is claimed. We don't want no trouble. Suppose you guys might want to move on.
I don't know. So I guess first off, who grabbed what? You got a blaster rifle and a blaster pistol.
I grabbed the blaster pistol.
And I guess Damon grabbed the blaster rifle.
I just took the biggest thing.
Yeah, he took the rifle.
I had no idea what I was grabbing, but I saw the biggest thing.
Okay.
So you're spending your turn to offer the peace pipe to this guy, tell him to get lost?
I'm trying to avoid any kind of conflict. Yes, I did. I tried.
I'll say since you've got a blaster rifle, and you've caught this guy by surprise for the most part, go ahead and make a coercion check.
Difficulty?
2.
Purple?
Yep, 2 purple.
2 success, 2 advantage.
So he sees you come out, and basically you're holding this gun. It doesn't really dawn on him that you're not really holding it properly, or in any kind of like normal stance. You're kind of holding it like very awkwardly, but he jumps off to the side like, whoa, whoa, like I said, he's back in his guarded stance, and it's enough that you scare him away from the door. But there are other ones out there, and you can see that there's like 2 or 3 other guys out there behind him. Which one of you guys is going next?
I guess I will go.
Yeah, because you have a weapon.
I have a weapon ready.
I've got noodles, apparently.
At least we'll go hungry.
I'll start throwing noodles at Adam.
Okay. How far away is the guy at the door away from me? My sight.
I'll say short range.
Okay.
I mean, you're pretty much right there at the end of that hallway, looking right out. So yeah, short range.
Okay. I'm gonna hold up my blaster. I was like, "You heard him. This is our ship. We claim it. It is ours. You guys go off. You don't belong here. We're gonna protect our salvage." So I'm gonna try to convince him to. And like, you tell your buddies that too. Why don't you go tell your buddies that this is our ship?
Okay, make a roll on it.
What's that?
Make a roll on that.
Coercion?
Yeah.
Ooh, 3 successes and 1 threat. Or disadvantage.
Let's see. So you manage to. He kind of looks back and forth, and they all start kind of stepping back. And the guy that was up on like the wing hops off, because now he's like, what the hell's going on? Who's in here? He's confused, and he comes around the corner and kind of like leans over a little bit, sees these 2 of you, blasters pointed out, and the other 3 basically. Boom, they scatter off to the sides, and you can start hearing speeder bikes starting up and stuff. as horribly as unconvincing as that might have been, it still worked. They didn't expect to run into people, and you can tell that they were really caught off guard. Like they just thought this was another crash ship that, hey, yeah, we can go scrap this thing out, and all of a sudden now there's people living inside of it with weapons. Carton, you can still take a shot if you want to.
Well, I don't.
Lots of noodles out.
Yeah, exactly. I've got noodles.
Give him some booty. Give them some booty for their travels. Throw them a box of noodles.
Okay. Actually, now my coercion is not all that existent, but I'll give them some. Like, do you know what happens when a blaster bolt hits the I don't know, whatever the propane tank or whatever the acetylene tank or whatever is of a what happens after that? You know, kind of like hinting to one of the guys.
A nerdy coercion.
Hey,
Go ahead and give me the coercion check.
I mean, I don't have a weapon, so I mean.
The guy with the acetylene torch who was like standing up on the wing. The other guy dropped his, and the guy that was standing up on the wing is standing there. He's got a torch and a tank in his hand. He's standing kind of roughly by that. So yeah, make a
what's the difficulty?
Me too. But I'm gonna upgrade this one. So make it 1 purple, 1 red, because this guy he's not sure what the hell's going on.
Nope. At least it's a failure.
So he looks at you in kind of a confused notion, like okay, there's guys with guns, and he's wondering why you're talking about shooting the acetylene tank. Like that just doesn't make sense to him. Like why wouldn't you just shoot me? And so he reaches over, boom! He hits the door, the thing to shut the door. And you can hear him scurrying off to rejoin the rest of the pack.
Oh, for the most part.
Damn it, Jasper! Damn it, Jasper!
No, this is damn it, Carden. What were you trying to say? Hitting some stupid tank?
Okay, before I'm gonna quickly open the door and try to sneak my way out to make sure it's clear.
Okay. Give me 2 difficulty and upgrade that one of those. I'm gonna use another Dark or Destiny point to turn that, because as you open up the door, you see them all speeding back around on their speeders.
All right. Well, I want to sneak out, so I'm away from the ship, and try to make sure that they're. I just really want to make sure the area is clear. That's kind of what I'm doing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You are giving him every GM's wet dream. Every time.
Failure, 2 advantage, and it's.
Well, how did you want to use your advantage? Or do you want me to do the despair first?
I did do the despair first.
Okay. So you open up the door and kind of looking around, and you can hear the bikes kind of out, like over one of the dunes. And you're thinking, okay, let me go ahead and make sure these guys are gone. But as you take 1 step out, they come flying up over the ridge. And when they do, they basically all take a turn to just kind of peel their bikes out. And they just covering you in sand. But the last one actually bumps you and knocks you back into the doorway. So go ahead and take 1 point of damage and 1 point of strain. You can heal this off pretty quickly. It's just a bruise, but he knocks you back into the door. And then when they take back off, they're just kicking sand up everywhere, and off they go back into the thing. And you can hear one of them, like the last one, as he the one that bumped you, he's like, boom! He hits you back into the door and tears out and takes back off, and you can hear him. We'll be back. Oh, we'll be back. And, up over the dune he goes.
Yeah, well, I'll be here. I'll be here. I'll be waiting for you. I'll be here. I'll be ready. I'll be ready and armed. So I'm going to use my advantage to cover a strain.
Okay.
And I talk myself up like, yeah, I'll be here too. You come and get me. I'll be here. You know where I'm at.
So the door shuts and you're back to quiet for the time being. You know that the scrappers are pretty relentless. They're not foolhardy. Like, they'll run from a fight, obviously. If weapons come out, they will run. But they will try to come back and reclaim a little bit of this scrap and stuff like that, systems, whatever they can salvage off of this thing, they will. And chances are they'll be watching. They'll wait for you guys to leave, stuff like that. And so to be wary about these guys.
Oh, fantastic planet you guys have here.
What? A settling charge? Do you know what's going to happen when we hit a settling charge and how much thermal units it's going to hurt? How many degree burn you're going to have? What are you, some chemistry teacher or something? They teach you that stuff in school? Gee, how do you insult like a nerd? That's the best you can come up with?
Card, this may be the first time I take your brother's side. That was...
We had them running. We had them cowering their boots. 2 blaster missiles looking down both barrels. And what do? Hey, I'm a nerd. Go kick me in the eyes. Ugh.
Cody, your mic's off.
Yeah, okay, Harry.
I'm gonna take Jasper around, around the shoulder, just be like, and then just, brush him up against where he was trying to cut into the. Just lightly brush him up against where he was, where the guy was, the scrapper was cutting into it, just so he could feel the amount of heat.
Are you gonna let him do this, Jasper?
No.
But he just be like, just like, hey, and then just,
Well, make whatever rolls you feel like you need to make here, unless you're letting him do this.
Probably deception.
Let's see. I guess a deception.
Okay, difficulties too.
And give yourself a boost die, Carden, because you still are his big brother. And then there will always be that slight intimidation factor.
This sounds like a brawn versus agility check to me.
That's what I thought. I thought we were going to go for a grapple, but
No, it's not a grapple. It's just like, hey, hey, while we're
Joking, laughing.
Oh, jeez.
So you kind of walk him over by the door, which is now closed again, and you can still see that it's not quite red, but it's still very hot. And as you walk him around, you kind of just get his face just a little bit close to it. And you can feel the heat.
Yeah, and that was the point. It wasn't actually like hurt him or anything. I mean, because he is my brother, but just enough to Now imagine that 10 times as bad.
Uh-huh.
And
well, they couldn't imagine that. They probably had small enough brains. They had no idea what you're talking about with thermal units. You got to think small here. You got to think a little rat-sized brains here. A little, get down to their level. That's what the problem. Your education doesn't help. You don't know how to deal with these kind of people. I know how to deal with these people. I speak their language.
Anyway, let's get the ship back to somewhat working order, or at least hide it somewhere so we can adequately plan our next
What if we can't move the ship? What are we going to do if we can't move the ship in time? What if they're going to be back tomorrow? What if they're going to be back tonight?
Then I guess we need to find Renzio, wherever in the world he is.
The biggest problem I'm seeing here, guys, is I'm not convinced how safe we are sitting out here in the middle of a desert in a ship. Some of it is still visible, and obviously scrappers now know where we're at. Which means the ideal benefit would be to move this cargo of ours somewhere else safe, but in order to do that, we need money for a building or warehouse or whatever here. I don't think we're going to run across anything abandoned. In order to have money, we're back to the cargo that we need to get rid of.
And what if we can't get any money? We're stuck here with a ship with some cargo. No, we need to deal with the scrappers. Scrappers are our number one priority. We deal with the scrappers, we'll be safe again. We can deal with all the other stuff later. We can deal with the other stuff later. We can move the ship. We can move the cargo. But right now, the biggest problem is those scrappers, and they're coming back.
How would you presume we deal with the scrappers, Jasper?
Well, either we find out where they're at, where they're coming from, or we wait for them, or find out where they come from, or wait for them here, or find out where they went.
Let us do both. Let us get the ship in working order, so if the scrappers come back before we actually get a chance.
Okay, big smart guy. Are we going to be able to get the ship working in, let's say, the next 12 hours?
Now, Jasper,
is that going to be happening?
Now, you listen, smart guy. If they come back, do you think our shaking a fist and your brother's nerdy talk about shooting tanks somewhere are going to scare them off the second time?
Well, maybe if we teach you how to lure that blaster and point in the right direction, we might be able to scare them off, and make a permanent message to them that they'll find out on their graves.
And Carden, in your esteemed knowledge, you do know that this ship isn't going to fly anytime soon. It's it's doable, but it's a tremendous amount of work. Getting it uncovered, repairing the outer hull, repairing engines, all that stuff is going to take a considerable amount of time and money to do so.
Okay. Now, does this ship have any... from the picture, it looks like it has some sort of... looks like a cannon or something.
Yeah, on the wing.
On the wing.
Yeah, there is a weaponry there.
They were coming from the back, though. What if we can find a place to put it and just worry about getting the repulsors or some bare minimum engines working to at least get it somewhere? Is that a possibility?
Are you talking to me or them?
Yeah, you. But them as an idea of what a possibility would be.
The money we would probably need, I know nothing about ships, this is totally your forte, Carden, but I'm assuming this would take a considerable amount of money, which I think combined we may have probably less than 1,500 credits. Here's my idea. How good are you with setting stuff up, Carden?
As in...
My idea. How about, can we figure out some kind of way to set up a few thermal detonators out there with tripwires, where if they came back and we set it pretty far away from the ship, if they go tripping over there and start approaching us, we would know immediately because they would go off and maybe these things would either die in the blast and we wouldn't have to deal with them, or it would really scare them off thinking we have a lot more firepower than we already do.
I mean, I could probably scrounge up enough to do something like that.
Jasper, do you know what general direction they came from when they took off?
Yeah, sure. They're coming from that. Well, I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't
know
know.
roughly. It's kind of the same when you guys left to go to the black market. It's probably the same group of scavengers and stuff that were in that encampment. That they went back in the same direction as you remember seeing them when you were on your way.
Okay.
All right, well, why don't we set up, I'd say 10 of these would do the trick. Set up some tripwires and cover about, let's say, 200-foot radius from the direction they would come, so it would almost guarantee they'd have to at least fly by one of them. That's my idea. That way, we have some kind of protection from that end. We are not going to go raiding some scrapper's camp, and we're really not going to do much if they come full force, depending on if they have more than, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. Do you really think you could take all those in a firefight, Jasper?
I could try.
That answer's no. So, Cardin, can you get to setting these up? I'm sure it's a very dangerous task here, but do you think it could be done?
I could rig something up to help deter them from coming, or at least keep them coming.
Well, let's string something up on the side of the camp that they would come from, with the ship, and far enough away from the ship so when it goes off, we're not losing pieces of the ship also.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be hard because it's like a sand dune that comes down, the ship is inside it, so really all you kind of got to do is just a half moon.
Around the top of the sand dune.
Not the top, but around the back of it, where
Perfect.
the back of the ship is sticking out.
Let's set it up, Cardin.
Curtin, what skills do you got to do something like that?
So, well, I've got mechanics and computers, and yeah, computers and mechanics.
I definitely would be probably willing to help as far as skullduggery, is sort of get an idea of how to lay a trap.
Okay.
Basically, I get an idea of, okay, he's got the mechanical skills as far as the detonators, and I got the idea of basically doing the tripwire, setting up the tripwires and the trap part of it. So
Okay.
that's kind of what I'm thinking about.
And
Here's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've also got not many, but 3 in survival, so I might be able to help figure out a way where they could do it safely, where it wasn't maybe.
Yeah.
Or a good way to hide them.
Yeah.
So Daemont being, where to put them, and then Jasper to,
Make sure.
kind of how to set them up, and then me to actually set it up.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 3 rolls. The third roll is where you're going to get the help from Jasper and Daemont. First roll, give me a average mechanics check or computers, either whichever one you want to do, to find the necessary parts to create some sort of sensor type thing to be able to set these things off a trigger, so to speak.
Probably mechanics. So, okay, so this is the...
Give yourself a boost die, too, because there's a lot
Yeah.
of miscellaneous parts in this ship.
Okay, now let's see. Okay. All right. So to get the necessary materials, that is 3 advantage.
How did you want to use your advantage?
Probably that. I don't know. A couple pieces I found probably the most appropriate pieces of that. At least a couple of pieces. Maybe not necessarily the whole thing, but you know.
But, well, let's say, what about this? You don't find anything that will create a sensor trigger, but maybe you find enough stuff that would create a mechanical trigger, tripwire, something like that.
That works.
Then for your second roll, that'll be for actually putting this together. We'll make this a mechanics roll. 2 difficulty. And that's all.
Okay. All right. For setting up.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
So you managed to create this tripwire system. It's not even really a tripwire system. It's more of a like a pressure plate type system. You're able to kind of wire something together so that as soon as something goes over it, it'll tip and trigger. What did you want to do with the Triumph?
The Triumph. Ooh, I don't know. Anybody?
How about, are we allowed to help him? If we ask him?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, sure.
How about when its pressure plates are hit, you found a way to rig it where the thermal detonators get maximum blast range out and away from the ship towards the whoever caused it to trip.
More directional.
More directional and the full blast heading out that way.
I mean, that's fine with me.
Okay. Yeah, so you managed to, with this pressure plate thing, instead of having these things actually just go off, you're able to focus the kinetic energy of the blast inward. So it's almost like a sandwiching effect. So as soon as something goes over, it's like blows inward this way instead of just outward.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the third roll, it's going to be for placing all this. I'm going to set the difficulty at 1 purple, and I'm going to spend a dark side point to upgrade that once.
Now, does he get any assistance from us?
Yep. So you can figure out the rest of the roll.
So, what is it? 1 advantage for assist?
Or 1 boost die for a
Or boost
unskilled
die,
assist.
excuse me.
An unskilled assist. 1 boost die for an unskilled assist. Unless, I mean, you're doing basic mechanics.
Well, mechanics, and then his, and then I'm thinking from Damont's survival.
So that would add
Getting a,
2 boosts and then whatever your mechanical is, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Versus 1 purple, 1 red.
Yeah, because really, as rules written, it is basically given a boost die. I'm using my skullduggery skills. I'm using your survival skills, so.
To find the optimum optimum placement and optimal cover camouflage for them.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Camouflage.
Yeah. Is that good? One my mechanics check, 2 boost,
1 purple, 1 red.
1 purple, 1 red.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I so thought that was a despair for just a split
No,
second.
he doesn't lose a hand. Yes.
So you're able to lay these things out perfectly. The threat is that you've had to build the sand up away a little bit. So it doesn't look entirely natural, but from plain eyesight, there doesn't appear to be anything wrong with it either. And what did you want to use your triumph for?
That. Um. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe if they're gonna try to come to the door, that would be the path that they would have to take to get there.
So you funnel it in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So with the threat, like you've had to build up sand to hide these things, but in the way that you've done it, you've basically created almost just a small little valley right up to the door. So it's just kind of a funnel out there. So if something does come in, it's basically just boom, 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 blasting its way in. So if they miss the first one, they're going to hit the second one for sure. And as other new ones come along, they're going to get hit by those other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a nice little cone shape that's coming out from the ship. All right, so you plant these things out, and now you can return back to the ship where you're kind of stuck for the meantime.
If after we get these things set up,
Mm-hmm.
Jasper kind of wants to keep an eye on things in case they don't go through the traps.
Okay.
Be basic. Well, I want to basically kind of be on guard as much as I can outside. Basically, I want to try to hide myself, and I got some scanner goggles, whatever they're going to help me with. But
Okay.
I just want to keep an eye out as long as I can, especially during daylight hours.
I'll say that there's where the ship's stuck in there. There's the ballast tank that's in the inside of the wing there. That sticks up enough that it doesn't stick out of the sand, but it comes right up to the top of the sand. So you have a nice little flat platform that you can basically just kind of pull some sand up if you wanted to, and just kind of sit there and keep an eye on stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. At least as much as I can.
Right. And the other two going back into the ship?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So you hang out there for a while. Most of the day you don't hear anything. As night starts to fall, you begin to hear the sound of the bikes just kind of throttling out over the dunes. You can kind of hear them going back and forth, back and forth. And we will end right there. Before we end the session, do we have a name for this new ship? The new ship home?
The sand trap.
Sand. The
Damn
Sarlacc
it,
pit.
Jasper.
Sarlacc pit.
We'll call it the Sarlacc pit.
The Sarlacc pit. Okay, the Sarlacc pit it is.
Sarlacc trap.
Ah, the Sarlacc
Yeah.
trap.
Yeah.
The Sarlacc trap. It sounds like a perfectly good ship name to me. So we'll return back to the Sarlacc trap next session. Thanks for watching, and good night.